And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by Lewis, men's volleyball head coach Dan Friend, who's up in Lake Placid right now, and he is leading the charge of the U.S. men's junior national team, the head coach for that team this year, as they are now in the training stage, trying to whittle down their roster from about 20 players to 12. And Coach, what has this training session been like for your team so far?
It's been really good. We got a great group of young men, 21 guys, and I would say, I've been with this age group for 3 out of the 4 years, and I think this is the best collective group of talent that we've had out of that group. We had some conflict over the years of the competitions being over JOs a couple times and things like that, so we weren't always able to get, I think, the best players in the group, and I think, we've got a strong group from top to bottom, so it's really great for training, and it's great for us going into this competition and an opportunity to try to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, and talking about, just kind of some of the training process, obviously this is a little bit different from the college game where you got months to kind of gel a team together. Here you got, a couple weeks before your first match. How difficult is that for you just as a coach to kind of get everyone on the same page in that short amount of time?
Well, I think it requires, guys to pay attention and get on board fast. And I've got a great coaching staff with Sam Schweitzky and Jay Hossick, and we got a data volley guy and Kyle Holmeyer. So I think, getting everybody going in that same direction as quick as possible. And me and Sam and Jay have worked together, so that definitely helps in the process. And, a lot of these guys that are here, over half of them have been within this process, so they're kind of on that same page as well. So I think all that stuff helps. And it's just a matter of going through that stuff as quick as possible in terms of offense and defense and what we're trying to get through. And at the same time, these guys are competing for a spot in the final 12 roster. And I think these guys have done a great job. One of the guys used the word, I think Jay did the other day, of cooperative competition, where they're cooperating but at the same time competing. And it's ultimately doing that at a high level. You want to be a good teammate. And, but the guys have done a nice job of that and really embracing that and the experience of being part of the USA volleyball program.
Now, has there been a player in particular who has really surprised you with the way that they've been able to perform so far during the training session?
Well, we've definitely had some players do some great things. I think I got to work with JT Hatch a lot, and really impressed with some of the things that he does overall just as a volleyball player. So really great to see. And Jeff Ginger's coming off a superb final in the NCAA tournament. I don't think he's missed a beat from where he's at. So those are a couple guys that really just kind of come to mind in terms of bringing a high level of play every day.
Now, with that first practice, Coach, did you make the Loyola guys just run laps nonstop, or did you give them a little breather?
No, I didn't do any of that stuff. I think I kind of turn the page when I come here. Do you know what I mean? I got my different hat on, and Jeff and Ricky and Ben are all great guys, and I've worked with those guys in the past, and so I think for me, kind of turn that corner, and you kind of I'm on a different page now, and ultimately working for USA, trying to get this team to qualify for Worlds, and I do that before I even walk in the door here. So. Yeah.
And I have to ask for you, because you're talking about really the top young players in the country. How difficult is it for you as a coaching staff just to whittle this roster down from 20, 21 players to 12?
I think it's very difficult. I think it's one of the biggest challenges, and in terms of you're trying to figure out the dynamic of who fits into what we're trying to get done. Do you know what I mean? It's hopefully you're getting the best 12 talented guys, but there might be a guy in certain positions that might slide in better than another guy, just whether it's personality or what he brings skill set with what you're looking for, and that definitely can change with a couple pieces out of those 12 guys, and that doesn't mean one of the guys not just as talented, he might just fit in systematically with what we're trying to do a little bit better, and that's what you're trying to do. Do you know what I mean? And that's a tough part, and it's ultimately those are tough conversations to have, because all these guys are great young men and great college players, but ultimately it's part of the process.
And final question, you guys are going up to Canada in a couple weeks to play in that qualifying tournament, try to get into the World Championship. For maybe people who aren't as well informed about the international game, what's the level of play that you could expect from your opponents in the upcoming tournament?
Well, I think it'll be really good. You got Brazil, who's going to be there, who already qualified for Worlds. Chile, who has a really talented group in this age, who already qualified for Worlds. Canada already qualified. Cuba's not there, but then you've got Mexico, Barbados, El Salvador. So you've got some teams. I think in our pool it's Brazil, El Salvador, Barbados, and us. And then the other pool, it is Canada, Mexico, and Chile. So right now, Mexico's already qualified as well because Worlds is in Mexico, and so I think you've got 4 teams that are already qualified in terms of where they're at. And so I think for us, it's about the opportunity to go play some teams that are already qualified and finish as high as we can so we put ourselves in that position to qualify as well and be at World Championships.